Welcome to the Heroes Chained Live AMA. I'm your host Jazz Gill from Crypto G Hub. Crypto G Hub is a crypto consultancy firm with a team of experts around the world. We lead projects in all phases of the business life cycle for our customers and clients in the seed stage to pre-IDO and post-launch as well. Also, I'd like to announce, please make sure you sign up to the Discord channel for Heroes Chained. There's a competition going on there to participate. You can win some HEC tokens as well. So make sure that you sign up to all social media to do with the Heroes Chained. And today we have a very special guest, Ersin Taskin, CTO and co-founder of Heroes Chained, a veteran in the business world, an entrepreneur in the software industry. I would consider him someone similar to Bill Gates for what he has done within his country, pioneering software within the startup ecosystem, has a number of successes under his belt as well in the software world as well. So Ersin, welcome to the live AMA. A pleasure to have you here. I'm very interested not just in your business background and what you're currently doing, but also in your expertise of security and cryptography as well, which you are pretty well versed. So welcome, and wanted to kick off this AMA session and get an understanding of your background, you know who you are, what you've been doing, and what you're currently working on as well. So over to you.
Thank you, Jazz, for your kind words. Well, Bill Gates is huge. I'm a fan of his. I have a BS degree in electrical and electronics engineering. I've been in the IT and software industry for over 20 years. I worked as a developer, engineer, sales executive, manager, CEO, entrepreneur. I did everything, you name it, in the industry. Prior to Inventuna, I was the co-founder, chief software architect, and lead developer of one of the top companies in the country. That's pretty much it. So I'm a software guy.
That's really interesting. So what made you start on this journey within software and business? Was it from your younger days as a teenager that you always had, interest in software and computers, and were you one of these guys bolting these PCs together and trying to create some code?
Well, actually, in my time, that was decades ago, you had to take this university entrance test like SAT, but much tougher. So then before taking the test, you had to fill in a form where you write what university and what department you want to go to. If you can't win the first choice, you will have to stick for the second or whatever your grades are enough. It was like a central, arrangement just based only on your score on your test, nothing else. So I wrote that the highest point requiring one was Boğaziçi University Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department. And then the second was same school, computer science. And the third was the highest point in medical, Hacettepe University Medical, and so on. So depending on my test results, if one or two physics questions I missed, I would become a doctor, or a computer scientist. I became an electronics engineer. So very, that's something I'm not trying to do for my kids. So I don't know, luckily or unluckily, I got my first choice and started, studying electronics engineering, electrical. And I love the space. But the second semester of my first year, I had this software programming from the legendary professor James Tsai, and I fell in love with that. He gave an excellent class. He taught us that the computer is a machine. He made us feel it and play with it, develop beautiful programs and see the result and all that. That was the moment I said, wow, God, I wish I were in the computer science department. So my best classes were regarding, software, the assembly code and everything. So in my third class, I started coding professionally as a freelance. So that was my dream. So I always dreamt of founding software companies in Turkey. and showing that Turks are good developers.
Sure. So, you see a lot of very successful software developers and coders who go to university and, get straight A's. And I'm sure you're one of those students and
Right.
who have a passion for, for software as well. And then how did the sort of the business bug start as well? Was it something when you was at university, you thought, I really love doing what I do as far as, software goes, and it's something that I want to pursue as a business as well?
Well, I always dreamt of founding my software company. I always dreamt of a team I'm a part of. When you develop together with people like you, your colleagues, it's so much fun. I always dreamt that. It takes a lot of time. I work as a developer, even sales executive. That was one of the reasons I wanted to do sales, because I wanted to found this company. I needed to do sales. You need to learn how to sell your software.
Hmm.
So yeah, in the end, we tried, and in the end, yeah, I had some success in the conventional software business. But since this year, beginning of this year, my co-founding partner and brother Erhan, we've been blockchain since 2017, and he's one of the best gamers out there I have ever seen. And when he told me, "Bro, now is the time. Blockchain is gaming is the best use case for blockchain, and now is the time." So we went into this blockchain space now professionally, and it's been a roller coaster. So much fun, much faster. I truly believe in the general theory of relativity. Time, speeds up here. The outside
Okay.
world is so slow to me now.
Sure. That's wonderful to hear. So currently, can you tell us about, the project that you're involved in currently and also your position within this business?
Yeah, Heroes Chained is a blockchain game. It's a fantasy action RPG game, and we introduced some real-time card elements to it. Uh, and I'm the CTO of the company. I represent the technical team at the board, so
Hmm.
in charge of the technical matters at the board.
Okay. So obviously you're the CTO and obviously run that division from the technology side of Heroes Chained, and also obviously you're the co-founder there as well, right?
Yep,
With some of the
yep,
other core team members as well.
yep.
Okay. No, that's great. And as far as obviously you've had a long journey within the software industry and obviously the business industry as well. You've combined expertise in both of them, and had a few good successful business ventures off the ground as well. um, what do you think are some of the key elements that sort of that you leverage on now in your new position as a co-founder and CTO of Heroes Chained?
Well, it's hard work, hard work and love and passion to learn new things. But I think this is sustainable, or this is achievable when you do the things you love. So yeah, yeah, that would be my summary. I mean, if you're privileged enough to be doing the thing that you love, that you have the
Hmm.
passion for, hard work is not work. You don't play to earn, you play and earn. So that's the
Yeah,
whole philosophy. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I would say.
No, that's great. And obviously, after I read about your team, there's not many businesses within the startup ecosystem where you see a grade team. When you run through all the different profiles of your team, including yourself, your brother, Mev, and just to name a few others there as well, you got a bunch of them. They seem to be like a you know, a soccer team where you've got Ronaldo, you got Pele, you got Maradona. You got the top guys there in one football team. You don't find many times a business with such a high quality of talent, with people who are, I would say, subject matter experts in their own field. May it be
Hmm.
business, may it be marketing, may it be development, may it be creative or artistic or music or whatever. Can you just give me some thoughts about how did you find all these guys, or are people just flooding you with resumes still, right, to come on board?
Well, it's actually family and friends, I would say.
Right.
Software developers would know that when you write code with others, and then you say, "Oh, God, this guy is great. I want to be with him all the time." So you want to keep him around or her around.
Mhm.
That's how you build your team in time. So my brother, we've been together since his birth. I'm the elder one. So I truly believe in him. That's why also we co-founded our previous company. Uh,
Mhm.
he, I made him the CEO. I was the founding CEO, but soon after I made him the CEO, I believed in him. So he led us to the market leadership, and a strong gamer and blockchainer telling me all the time, bro, gaming is the best use case. And I also trusted him for the timing. He has such a great business mind. And the beginning of this year or end of last year, when he told me that, bro, now is the time. Now let's exit to this new blockchain company to found. And I was convinced, of course. And
Mhm.
then we go to our friends, Salih and his two friends, Alp and Batal. Why? Because we know them, especially Salih is a very, very close friend. We are a fan of his. They're also the co-founders of one of the top software companies and success stories in Turkey. So we told them, let's join, guys. We've been friends, but let's join and co-found this company together. And then, game first is team first for us because we want to develop these great games, real games. So who do you go to? It's no contest in Turkey. It's the founding father of Turkish gaming industry. Mevlink is a legend. He has done AAA games over and over and over again himself for Ubisoft, Activision, Super Nintendo, you name it. So he's a legend. So you go to him, and he's been a friend for 20 years. When he comes to Turkey in 2000 from UK, he has a fantastic career in UK.
Mhm.
Becomes a legend and comes to Turkey in 2002, found the Turkish gaming industry, which was zero then. And he happens to be our neighbor in the Istanbul Technical University Technopark. So we watched him fight to, kickstart this gaming industry, grow it. We became friends. So you go to him. So we go to him. So we explain him how blockchain revolutionizes and how it helps gamers' problems, solve gamers' problems. And he says, that's a revolution I want to be in. So once you have him, but we tell him we don't want your name, which is huge. We want your talent, your cult, your team. So come and build this together with us. So he says,
Mhm.
I'm in 724. And the rest is domino. If you have Mevdink or such guys on your team, we're visual animals, unlike dogs. So you want to have a great metaverse, a game. You want to have beautiful, visually beautiful metaverse as well. So you go to Onur. He's number one in Turkey, American Turkish career, I would say. So the rest is domino. Everybody would love to be a part of such a team. So when Onur hears about Mevdink, it's easier to onboard him. And when Onur is on board, we now have an army of Hollywood quality, 3D artists flowing in. Same for Mevdink. So yeah, that's it. That's the domino effect you have.
No, I mean, like I've said, you got a super quality team there, like the football A team, the dream team, as you would say, right? And hence my
Thank you.
question as well. And no, it's good. It's fascinating that how it all came together. You and your brother, being in this industry in software, and then obviously the gaming industry, the blockchain takes off, and then obviously Mev appears at the right time as well, and you're basically around
Mhm.
the same area as well, which is great. And it's
Mhm.
good. I mean, I think there's a lot of good positive things going for Heroes Chain. Obviously, you're a developer, and what do you think are some of the most challenging issues that one has working as a developer? What sort of challenges you, and what challenges do you see as a developer?
Well, developing is about running, like chasing after challenge. You face a challenge, you achieve, and you go to the next challenge. And things that you do very fast are not challenges, but so developing is chasing challenges. But I mean, if you love what you're doing, it's the whole thing is not a challenge. It's just fun. It's not work or challenge for you. So yeah, I would say it's one challenge after the other, and it's you learn. The first thing you do when I encounter a challenge, the first thing I do is search it on the internet. That's
Hmm.
what a developer does. First thing. So it's amazing, fascinating to see this global brain of developers and scientists and technical people, working together in this loose, coordinated, fashion. contributing. You're able to get what they have done free of charge, and you give it back. That's
Mhm.
fascinating, being a part of this huge developer community.
And you being a developer and being the sort of lead developer and being the chief technology officer, right? In that capacity, obviously, you have a number of folks that work for you as well. Obviously under your leadership. What do you think makes a good developer? Do what? I mean, not everyone can become a developer, but what do you think are some of the say two or three traits that you've seen that sort of makes a developer, right? As far as
Well,
skills,
to my
is
experience,
their mindset, yeah.
yeah, in our previous company, we had this habit of having internship program every summer, and students coming from all domains, even from business administration or English literature or whatever. So I would say that there's one criteria: if you love developing, that's it. It's the mother of all criteria. I mean, I met, for example, some kid, far relative, and he's from business administration and doesn't have a lot of technical or mathematical background. But he told me, Ersin, I want to be a developer. That's what I want to be. I showed him all around the company, sales department, project management, and all that. And he said, no, I want to be a developer. I want to learn and do this thing. And he studied like day and night, even at the toilet, doesn't sleep and everything, and he nails it. He becomes a team member of a very professional software team. And now we graduated him, and he's now working in a company. So I would say if you love being a developer, that's it. It means maybe you got talent. It means, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't studied in detail in scientific. I'm not an expert, but my experience, those who love developing have this success in the long term.
So really, it's something that is a though you may do it as a job, it's really a passion, then, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
desire in your heart. You don't really count the hours. It doesn't matter if you haven't slept for 24 hours.
yeah,
You just keep
yeah.
on going. But it's just a love for the development and creating that code and making sure it works and looking for the bugs and fixing it, and then actually
Hmm.
seeing a product at the end that really functions and that adds value to people what they're doing, maybe in the gaming industry or any other industry as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, that is really that's really good to hear, because I thought I'll pose that question because obviously you managed a lot of people, you've managed a lot of developers as well, and obviously leading development as well is always to get an understanding of what makes a great developer and what those skills are and expertise and whatever flair they have, because everyone's unique in the pursuits they pursue in life, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
that's great to hear. And then I've been recently hearing through the news feeds as well that about this hackathon as well. So
Oh, yeah,
quite
yeah. That
I'm
was
quite keen to
fantastic.
hear about it. And I thought, what,
Oh
I'd
my
rather
God.
have this. I'd rather pose this question to you on this live AMA. And
Yeah.
yeah, please tell us about. Let the I'm eager to hear about it, as is the community that's live watching this AMA as well. So
I
please
got
go ahead, tell us
goosebumps.
about
Really,
it.
that was last weekend. Started last Friday and ended on Sunday.
Wow.
And sleeping on the couch or desk, not leaving the space.
Hmm.
So being next to other developers, it was an Avalanche hackathon. So
Right.
mainnets are king, are the kings and queens of the space. We have a lot of respect for them. We're here because of them. So kudos to all the other mainnets. So when there's a mainnet hackathon, we the developers really are get excited. And for our team, also our team is very young. We just started forming this team for the last 6 months only. Some of the guys are very new. So it was our first hackathon. It was a mainnet hackathon, and it was Avalanche hackathon. Avalanche is one of the highly respected mainnets out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
For,
Definitely.
due to its technology and developer-friendly API and everything. So it was great. So much excited. We really worked so hard, and at the end of the day, when our name was announced as the first prize winner, we jumped to the air, and it was so much fun. It was worth it. And I want to
Well
thank my
done.
team. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that, the duration of this event is a fair amount of time as well, right?
Yeah,
You know, you
over 40 hours non-stop coding. Of course, you need to sleep. You need to, give a break. But, it was a lot of Red Bull, coffee, and everything. It was fun. And also,
know,
I'm being shoulder to shoulder to other developer teams, helping each other, helping out each other, just feeling this feeling of ecosystem. We'll definitely go to the hackathons out there that we can.
yeah, I
We don't
mean,
want
well
to,
done. I mean, well done to the team, and it shows, like you said, it's a young team, but
yeah,
the
including
expertise
me.
and talent.
But we
Absolutely.
had a good balance of the old, but mostly young. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think that added to the success, right, and winning the competition as well, right? You
Yeah,
had the young folks, and then you have the industry veterans in the team as well, right? That add the icing on the cake, as you would say.
yeah, yeah.
So basically, I was just asking. Obviously, you got a lot of experience in the GameFi world, blockchain, and NFTs, and from your perspective, what sort of makes Heroes Chained stand out compared to other games that are available on the blockchain. So,
Yeah. So yeah,
what's
so
giving you
as
guys
I
the
and
edge?
earn as I yeah, so
Yeah.
I believe you heard the whole the basic, the most fundamental difference is play and earn, and of course
Hmm.
the Mevding and his experienced team, and also Onur Charlie with the visuals. I would say we're also equally strong. I believe on the blockchain side at the hackathon championship. I think also has been a good proof of that. So I would say, yeah, these are the also we have this unique combination of easy to learn but yet deep to master gameplay, and also we are developing a custodial wallet option. So we are trying to pull in non-coiners as well. So
Hmm.
the automatically installed and configured wallets integrated inside the game UX and UI makes it easy for the gamers to start doing things and having their NFTs and tokens. Also, we don't want our non-coiner gamers to lose their precious assets while losing their keys. So we have
Yeah.
key recovery phase, but we want to help them transcend to the on-chain self-custody world on their own pace. So we are trying to build this gamification module, teaching them, helping them learn uh, blockchain. And it's RPG is a good genre, and we have some real-time card elements. I think these are what helps us stand out.
So, just stepping back a bit, because you were just mentioning about the cryptography as well and security as well. So obviously, you've got all these gamers, the play and earn gamers, they're owning the assets, that they bought, or gained in the game while playing the hero chain game. So how will, based on your research in cryptography and obviously network security as well, and the whole ecosystem about security, um, how will this, how will that benefit them, and what sort of the value add there, from, for protection and protecting them and so forth, you know, from the, yeah.
Uh, this hackathon, we had the chance to talk to Professor Sirer,
Hmm.
the leader of Avalanche, and Kevin Seknicki, also one of the top guys, one of the really technical people, and other Avalanche guys closely. And so we agreed to work closely with our lab and their Avalabs teams on founding our game, installing our game on a new subnet, GameFi subnet, Avalanche GameFi subnet. So with the right adjustments and maybe extensions to API, so that it's good for the game environment, the transaction fees and all everything. And Avalanche is one of the best out there. We also studied Solana, which is also incredible. We are, we are very much into decentralization and too technical to level with L2 solutions. So even though Ethereum has this networking effect, everybody wants to be there for NFT markets and everything. We didn't want to go there because we had to level with L2 solutions for, and now we have L1 solutions for quite some time thanks to Solana, Avalanche, Algorand. So these are good projects. So and so, just for the saving time, we studied Solana and Avalanche. Both are great. We couldn't choose between the two. It was a very close choice. So now we chose Avalanche. We're happy with that. And so with that subnet, I think we'll have a good, sweet spot of transaction fees. And Avalanche is amazing when it comes to speed of transaction. Time it takes to transaction finality. It's sub-second. It's amazing. So when it comes to also security, we have other things. In the long term, I'm working on proof of Turing, consensus mechanism. Actually working on a like kind of mathematical theory of decentralization. So I, group consensus mechanisms as two: proof of cache, I call proof of stake, proof of work, proof of storage, proof of CPU. These are all proof of cache because proof of work is, hash power is convertible to money. Proof of stake is convertible to money. Proof of storage, proof of CPU. These are things resources you can buy. So with the attacker with enough money and external gain, can really get the majority stake in consensus and break decentralization. So, the Satoshi Nakamoto's paper has this internal rationality saying that if you can get 51% hash power, that's okay. There's nothing we can do about it. It's permissionless and privacy seeking, but you wouldn't, hack the system for double spend or DOS attack because you will lose money. Instead, take the transaction fees, which is better for you. But that's internal rationality. So I'm introducing this external rationality where an attacker with the gain outside, Bitcoin in this case, say Fed's global, currency exclusive position is under the threat. It's a hundreds of trillions of dollars case. So spending a couple of $10 billion makes sense. So that external rationality is there. So the second group, this is a proof of cache, is proof of work, proof of stake, and all that. And delegated proof of stake, proof of work, all the same. The other one is proof of human, where you can have proof of Turing, proof of KYC, proof of biometrics. But my favorite is proof of Turing. It's because it's privacy seeking and permissionless. So it relies on the fact that we have quite some time that AI passes the Turing test, which is a human interrogator talks to, let's say, on WhatsApp to two entities. One is AI, one is human. So he's trying to tell which one is human and which one is AI. If he can tell AI from human, the AI fails the Turing test. If he can't, AI passes the Turing test. So we believe that our human gamers gaming together with other human gamers would tell if the guys they're playing with, microphones open, maybe cameras open, tell from AI, then yeah, we're safe because the guys with the money can get AI, but they can't get the people. So kind of like you got cash, we got people. So we got billions of gamers out there. So that's a model. Which also helps transaction fees, which is a $1 trillion business in the whole globe, by the way, to the gamers who want to secure the consensus. I believe personally, that's beyond the scope of real change, but I believe we the people drive the Web 3.0 or metaverse. So we want to secure. We can secure the metaverse economy we drive, and decentralization is fully reached when you decentralize to the gamers, social people, to the people. So that's also my ideas on security of blockchain and decentralization.
Sure. I mean, you've been involved in security for quite some time, and you know about the security world in depth. You've written a lot of good articles. I've read a few as well around this area. Is there any other areas within the domain of security that you want to share or talk about that are
I think
quite
that's pretty much.
interesting,
I
around
wouldn't
this
call
area?
myself an expert on security, by the way. It's a vast thing, but I really wanted to focus on the security part of decentralization. Just in that context, I wouldn't call myself a security expert,
Hmm.
frankly. But I really have been working on this, decentralization, the mathematical theory of decentralization. I think since 2017, I have posted on and on the cryptography mail list. So
That's
yeah, I wouldn't call myself a security expert, but rather, a
Yeah, but
decentralization
a
security,
guy who's been
limited
doing
to
it
that.
since, yeah, but a guy, you've been very modest, I must say, but a guy who's been writing about it for many many years now, right? Is in my books is a you could classify him as a subject matter expert. But looks like you've laid a lot of good technology on the structure and the engine behind the hero's chain, right? To
Yeah,
basically to protect everyone that plays the game, right? And
yeah,
the
sure.
assets and everything they earn. No,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
good. And obviously you've got the play and earn approach, which is obviously the methodology that you use. I mean, how would that impact the play to earn games? The methodology that you obviously your method that you're using and your strategy.
I think in the long term, play to earn will evolve to play and earn because now AAA game studios are coming in. We are guys like us are coming in,
Hmm.
and the Epic Games have done an epic thing, and we're watching what's happening, but it's always going on the favor of the people because web this is going to be on Web 3.0, and people are the ones who are driving the metaverse economy. So I think models, not only security models but also business models that favor the people will win in the long term, but we have to be sustainable. So play to earn, checks the first box. It's cool, but doesn't check the second box. So it's been an icebreaker. So it has its time, but I believe it has its shelf life. So it will become irrelevant when the hype is gone. I hope and wish Axie Infinity and all these play to earn colleagues, have the time, and I believe they have the money to evolve to something else that is more sustainable. So
Hmm.
again, how do you find the money to pay the gamers when the hype is gone?
Absolutely. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And then how do you think that hero's chain will satisfy the true gamers out there
Well,
in
yeah, yeah, it's our game first approach. So it's we start with game, and
yeah.
I believe we did our best to get the best people that have done that before. Mevding and his team have developed, AAA games for their own studios. The MMORPG of Turkey, for example, Istanbul Kıyamet Vakti, is a cult of a million people. It's been on the last 15 years. When his company was acquired by Turkish Telecom and coding was stopped, still the gamers didn't leave it. So also he worked for, he developed for Ubisoft, Activision, Super Nintendo. So I believe they will deliver, a fun to play game. And our game designer is amazing, Nesh, over 20 years of experience, award-winning games. We're so much fan of his. He has played all genres as a gamer and designed, many genres. And also we have Jamie on board. We have British Legacy. It's a British Turkish name, and no one can beat, I believe, the Brits when it comes to fantasy. Stories all the way from Peter Pan to Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter to all this. So I believe we have a very creative team on board on the story part, game design part. But we'll wait and see.
Hmm. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. So, one of there was a big announcement about the Avalanche, right?
Yeah.
And and the partnership that you got with them and the investment as well. So that direct investment, what does it mean for, the Heroes Change project and what type of message, will it send out into the gaming industry as well? Because and do you want to share a bit more about the announcement and that partnership with Avalanche?
Yep. Well, when we, witnessed the Star Atlas IDO, we were so much amazed with the vision and the model, the, Solana partnership and also FTX partnership. And the community voted a big yes on that because the community want to see such huge games, metaverses, and they want to see a special mainnet partnership. I believe maybe as a technical person, I was more, focused on the Solana partnership, but FTX is also important from a business perspective. So we were so much impressed by that. So we aimed that. That was the time we realized that that should be the best way, technical, organic partnership with the mainnet because we
Hmm.
have a lot of ideas, innovations, inventions, we want to contribute. So we approach both Solana Labs and Avalabs teams with the same, offer. We want to have some organic relationship. Also, not only you be our partner, invest in our seed. That's not enough. We have this technical. We want to have this technical link, between the two, teams. Of course, we're not going to bother them, but we want to have this. We don't want our proposals, ideas get lost in the crowd. So and I believe it would be the same with Solana Labs if we chose that path, because really I truly believe in Solana Labs. But just we happen to choose Avalabs, and we are very welcome. And this hackathon was excellent timing. It helped us, to really show Avalabs team to the leadership and the technical people, the technical capacities we have, the ideas we have. So I believe we will, have a strong, technical collaboration as well. Not only seed investor having Avalabs, and Avalabs team is one of the best technical and creative, innovative teams out there. So we're so happy and excited.
And also, what do you think are a couple of the key benefits of Avalanche over other blockchains?
Okay, so to begin with, L1 and L1. We're true believers in L1 and decentralization. And we see technically and mathematically, and we test it as well, we see that it's possible thanks to like Solana, Avalanche, Algorand. I haven't have the chance to study Algorand in detail, but just I know the paper and everything. So theoretically speaking, it should work. So now that we have that solution, so we have to stick with L1. And so, as I said, we studied both Solana and Avalanche, and we were fascinated. We were satisfied that they would deliver, and especially on Avalanche side, they had the best, developer-friendly API our team has experienced, and I have experienced. I haven't checked them all, but yeah, so that's important. The you don't want your developer friends and yourself as a developer, to waste your time with bad API. It's annoying. You want your developers to be happy. So really had a lot of fun with Avalanche API so far. And in the hackathon we developed so much, people found it hard to believe that we did develop it in 40 hours. And I explained it's due to the API, the very friendly API. So we're excited about that. And the speed of transactions is amazing. They call it blazingly fast. Well said. Duly said. It's sub-second finality. I'm talking about the time it takes when you send your transaction request and it is committed on the blockchain itself forever. So it's the fastest we have seen so far, but we haven't studied everything out there. And also transaction per second, the capacity. So we have the speed, how long it takes for the transaction to be committed once you send it. I think I might be wrong. It's the fastest, but also the capacity, number of transactions per second. Solana is amazing on that. We're so lucky we have Solana in the space. It increased my belief that we're going to make it. So an Avalanche is also incredibly beautiful on that. It has very high transaction per second, more than enough capacity. Now that we can scale horizontally, we can have our own GameFi subnets. So yeah, I would say the speed, TPS, and more importantly, the developer-friendly API, and being able to connect with the Avalabs team. That's amazing. That's my list.
And as far as obviously you summed up some very valuable points there about the benefits. Would you sum up the same? Would it be exactly the same benefits that it would bring also to the gamers as well? By
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Uh, we made this, pretty unique and beautiful design where we, manage the game states where it is managed the best, okay, which is not on chain, on Amazon Web Services and everything, but the value state, the tokens, NFTs, and all your game assets, things that are valuable are on the blockchain. So we use the blockchain the way we should. And we have all this hashing, e-signature of the game studio and everything. So to make sure that we have separation of powers in place. So what do I mean by saying separation of powers? We, the game studio, have the authority on only developing and running the game and publishing the smart contracts. Then we can't change the smart contracts. We can't manipulate tokens and NFTs. We can't change the NFTs. The mainnet, on the other hand, is the machine that runs the value state of our game, the smart contracts, but it can't change the smart contracts. It can't change the game. And the gamers out there, kind of like the judges, they see what we have, and if they like it, they play on our game, on our world, trade with our hold our token and NFTs and everything. So this is beautiful separation of powers. But on the other hand, also we communicate. Like gamers tell us, give us feedback. They don't have the authority to change the game, but they can give feedback, and we hear them. And so same likewise, Avalabs and our Heroes Chain team, technical team also collaborate, providing feedback and proposals. So I love this environment, you know, that we're building for the best gaming experience, like decentralized on a higher meta level as well.
Yeah. So, Heroes Chain is obviously, thank you for that. Heroes Chain is obviously disrupting the blockchain uh, by, the technologies bringing on board, the relationships is formulated and sort of innovating consistently day on, day out. What do you think is the future of Heroes Chain going forward as well?
The future, I dream it as a metaverse where people, want to be in, having fun, socializing. Socialization is very important. If you socialize more when you have more fun, and Mevding has a great track record of games for staying there for years and years. So IKV is an example. It's been on for 15 years. A lot of cult has been built. So people socialize more where they have fun. So I believe it's going to be a metaverse where people have this medieval fantastic world. They will clan, and each player is a guild master. It's a place you call home. You have a garage, you have caravan, breeding, Also, of course, PvP, PvE, you battle against people. You want to clan, and also outside the city walls, you do dungeons together or alone. So I believe that's going to be a metaverse like that. Where people live, play, and earn, and own the assets, and also where we share a great deal of the economy with the players.
That's wonderful. And obviously we've touched on a number of great questions, and I'm sure that we have a vibrant community behind Heroes Change. Numbers are increasing, you know, tremendously every single day. Is there anything else you would like to share about, Heroes Chained, or anything else about, tech, or anything else that, you want to talk about?
I think we covered pretty much of it. I would love to give the most of the time to the Heroes Chained people out there.
Yep.
So I think we can skip to the question spot.
That's perfect then. Well, thanks, Ersin, for that. It's been wonderful. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing your knowledge, not just about Heroes Chained, but also about the other areas of network security, cryptography, and all those different interests as well. That's wonderful. So we can open up now to any questions from the Heroes Chained community, as we have Ersin, the CTO and co-founder of Heroes Chained, on this live AMA, so it'll be nice to get some questions. Okay, so here we are. You just said let's get the questions, and they're coming in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So how will Heroes Chain handle deflationary aspects within the game? So how will
Yeah.
Heroes Chain handle deflationary aspects within the game?
Okay. So first, we have a fixed cap of 100 million tokens. So it's not going to increase. So that's actually enough to make a token deflationary, because as the economy grows, more and more people play. And also people stake their coins. The circulating supply decreases. So that's the mechanics we're going to achieve. And we're going to have more IMAs where we will have the game designer, and also the people who are in charge of the details. I'm the CTO. I'm more on the software side. They can also go into very details on how the currency is used. But if I make a summary, we have one coin for governance that you stake for voting for game decisions, and also the same coin is used for in-game currency. As in-game currency, you can buy NFTs, you can trade, you can sell, you can buy consumables and everything. You can earn the same token, but we will also have a price tag token as well, like a gas in Ethereum, but that's as a stable coin inside the game. But the token is one for both governance and in-game currency.
Thanks, Ersin. Thanks for that. So next question, please. I'll just wait for it to come up. Okay. Right. Do you have any alternative that can continue even when a bear market comes? So do you have
Yeah.
alternative that can continue even when a bear market comes? Well, we don't know if a bear market's coming, right? But anyway,
Yeah.
I'll leave it to you
That's a good
for your
question.
thoughts.
That's a good question. I try to touch on it a little bit. That's one of the reasons why we go for game first, approach. Play and earn as opposed to play to earn. Play to earn will suffer definitely from the bear, because when the hype comes, where do you find the money to pay the gamers? So play and earn is, by definition, more, stronger against, less vulnerable against the bear, because people want to play the game during the bear market just for the fun, for the social element. I have seen it over and over again in the Mevdink games. IKV is a good example. It has been through very tough times, very difficulties. Development stopped. The mother company Turkish Telecom changed its policies on gaming, but still the gamers are there. And yeah, so if you are a play and earn, I would say you have a higher chance to survive the bear market. And
Thank
also,
you.
we're working on, as I said, proof of Turing consensus mechanism. We hope, we dream that we can have a GameFi subnet on Avalanche based on proof of Turing instead of proof of stake. And in proof of Turing, it's the gamers that secure the consensus mechanism, not the miners nor the stakers earn the transaction fees. And that's a lot of money. So that's also a second, thing, we have at hand to help sustainability for the during the bear market. When the hype is there, we earn even further, even more in comparison to play to earn.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. So wait for the next question to pop up, but that's a great answer to that. And we all worry about the bear market, right?
Mm.
As far as, well, this is a lengthy one. As far as I understand, what is the reason for choosing the Avalanche blockchain to work on Avalanche? What is the significance of choosing this blockchain? So it might be some things that you previously touched about, what the
Yeah,
reason
but
behind choosing it. Maybe we just sum up.
yeah, very briefly, first, speed. The time it takes, the transaction finality. So the time between you commit a transaction and so you request a transaction and it is committed. So the speed per transaction, it's the fastest we have seen so far. We have in our studies, and also the capacity, the transaction per second is huge. It's 4,500 transactions per second, and we can scale horizontally. So we are planning to have a new subnet, a different subnet dedicated to GameFi. We learned that Avalabs had the same plan, so they just coincided. We're going to collaborate on that so that we have a very fast, much faster, and with increased transaction per second capacity, and also very low transaction fees, very low transaction fees. So and also, developer friendly API, and Avalabs, the technical team, really are amazing.
Okay, great. Thanks for that.
And the number of nodes also, there's a lot of number of nodes. It's very high. It's one of the highest, I believe, maybe the highest. So it's one of the most decentralized, blockchains out there. And remember, we are true believers in decentralization.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a great partnership and a lot of technology benefits as well. Okay, so next question. Um, what are your short-term objectives? And so, what are your short-term objectives right now? And what are you focusing currently on as well?
Okay, so you might check our roadmap, which has times on it. Unlike other roadmaps with phases, we have times uh, for a high level roadmap. But if you're asking, technically, now we're heavily working on both developing the front end, the back end, which has API and the back end, and also on the visual side as well. So the teams are working very very hard in parallel. So when we're developing our own visual worlds with a huge team. Onur Charlie, now we have Tuna. These are the guys that have created White Walker's Race on Game of Thrones, for example, that have worked for the Amazing Spider-Man, Terminator, and all these also AAA games and everything. So we have an amazing team there, but it takes time. So in the meantime, our front-end game mechanic developers work with some Unity assets and everything, or very symbolic assets. So once when the visuals team, the artistic team delivers a portion that is modeled, we change the visuals from Unity assets to our unique creatures. So that's how we work. So I would say we've been developing for the last 6 months. So we will release, I think, beta release in 7 months, end of Q2 next year. So and 3 months later we will have the full release. So we got 10 months for the full release, and like 3 months later, by the end of next year, we're gonna release some expansion pack. So that's the milestones in game development.
Okay, thank you for the in-depth answer. Thank you. So we'll just wait for any other questions to come through. Okay, so next question. So what's the significant difference between play to earn versus play and earn? I think we
Hmm.
went through that earlier as well.
Yeah, some people
Feels,
join later,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
to
Feel,
wrap up,
yeah, yeah, go on, go
to
ahead. Over to you.
yeah, to wrap up. So we say game first, okay, in play and earn. And play to earn is actually GameFi is defined as gamification of DeFi. So it's how do you make people click routinely on some things to yield, to farm LP gains and everything API in a gaming environment scheme. So that's the whole idea of GameFi, and that's why it is called play to earn. You know, so we believe that people stop having fun, even if they had fun in the first place. They do it for the money. So as opposed to play and earn, which is game first, you start from the gaming side. How do we develop a beautiful game that people want to be in? People want to pay to be in. So then, how do you solve the gamers' problems? How do you help them own what they earn through their time and money, and trade and NFTs and tokens and everything? How do you bring in new channels of income like transaction fees from proof of Turing consensus mechanism, or other ways of the economy that the real game gives birth to, giving most of it to the gamers and everything.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for that. So we'll just see if any other questions appear.
I am at home and kids are upstairs.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we got kids and it's crowded at home. 5 people
So
and our kids.
no problem. So next question. I think what the previous question meant was also how will you ensure that your game is still play and earn and didn't turn into play to earn? Do you adjust the rewards
Okay.
on a regular basis?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. So actually, I mean, you can't do this by just readjusting the rewards. We're going to use the same, NFT mechanisms. If you look at the macroeconomic level, there's nowhere you can escape if your game is not fun to play. And
Yep,
also, you shouldn't be, motivating the gamers play to earn, play to earn, play to earn. It's the psychology. It's you should we try to keep saying play and earn instead of play to earn. Even that that title, I think is unfortunate. All this, wish the space called it differently, play to earn. Because people hear it and they model the genre that way. So we will keep writing, talking, saying play and earn, play and earn. We want to get rid of this play to earn as much as we can in the space. So the whole motivation should be play and earn. And the only thing you can achieve is make a great game, a game that the people would love to pay, even pay to play. So you make that game and don't make it pay to win, but play and earn. There's no other way around. There's not an easy path. By playing with the tokenomics, it'll not help. You did the hard way. And as Dr. Toto said, that's the hard part. Making them fun is the hard part. A great game requires a great game developer team. That the team that has done that before successfully. That
that's
experience.
wonderful. That's wonderful. So, are you still good for time wise on your side for another question, one or two?
Sure, sure. I'm free. I'd love to
Okay,
communicate with the community.
that's perfect. Um, are we going to see useful? Are we going to see useful Heroes Chain NFTs to utilize it? Um,
Hmm.
getting ticket for e-sport matches, etc.
Well, wonderful question. I can see a gamer out there. So esport is very important. Battles, arenas, tournaments, leagues, these are very important. Esport is one of the fastest growing, part of gaming industry. So yep. First of all, we got two types of NFTs: NFTs with utility, NFTs of just artworks and collectibles. So NFTs with utility will have such utilities, maybe giving you rights for other things. Like, this is a very good example. Thank you for
Mhm.
that. Yes, we will have, and also NFTs with utility inside the game mechanics. Like my favorite, Hardened Law. Just you can see it on our website. You see in the presentation in the light paper as well. So it's a great design, a Hollywood quality design. It helps you increase your defense against melee attacks, and with filled with right crystals, you can have mid-range of shots of fire or ice, and it also increases your unarmed attack. So it has utility in the game. So both utilities are there.
Wonderful.
But we're gonna have
Okay.
also non-utility NFTs as well, just for the beauty. And I'm sure Erhan is, having some surprises. I've seen it, and we showed it to people, and they were amazed. Incredible, like Hollywood. I'm new Hollywood, even incredible in the Hollywood level. Beautiful 3D, 4D artworks.
Wonderful. So some interesting things happening and also some interesting things coming along the pipe as well.
Yeah, yeah. Our team keeps working.
That's wonderful. Okay, next question. I'm just waiting for it to come through. Right. Do you have any plans to
Oh,
release it on a mobile app game? I think that's an
thanks for the
interesting one.
question, because I forgot to tell. I forgot to tell with one of the very ambitious projects, which is both on mobile and the PC. So both on iOS and Android. So that was a very tough decision, a tall order. But we sat down and we said, if we really want to help blockchain mass adoption problem, and we truly believe that metaverse, or GameFi, play and earn especially, is one of the ways we can help solve this problem. And so, but we have billions of gamers on the mobile, and it's getting more and more, higher stake. So we have to address mobile, not only mobile phones but tablets as well, the kids and everything. So and we did our best to achieve it. Yeah, so yes, we have a mobile and PC version, and it's pretty hard. Normally, you have either PC games, or mobile games, but having them both is a great challenge.
So really, it works across all cross-platform then, really.
Yeah,
So you're not
yeah,
hindered. You
because
can,
we want to
you can,
address
yeah,
these billions of people out there.
yeah. Because a lot of people they like to play as they travel as well. You're,
Yeah, their social
you're
lives.
on
Yeah,
the train, on the bus, or whatever. You got time. You want to enjoy your social time, and then you can come back home and switch on the PC and start gaming there as well. That's wonderful.
yeah, but we're going to be developing. We're on we're fits on the ground team. We're studying the future technological advancements, but today we're also level with the technology we have, and we want to check the timing and everything. So we will develop native mobile and PC clients using the hardware resources to the furthest extent today. So that's a lot of developments because rendering, we're going to have a lot of visuals. Remember, so we're going to be do a lot of R&D on that. But yeah, you have to do that if you want to get both mobile and PC people to the same game.
Sure, thank you. So we'll just wait for the next question to come through. People are typing quite fast, I must say, or the internet speeded up as well.
Yeah.
What does the Heroes Chain offer to early investors? So, what does Heroes Chain offer to early investors? That's the first part of the question. And
Hmm.
maybe a pre order like NFT airdrop for the games as well. So, maybe a pre order.
First part, early investors. Well, our seed round and all that is over, and private sale. We have tens of, I don't know how many times more demand than the stake we have for private sale, for example. I think we're almost over with the private sale, but we want to give the portion. We want to be careful in selecting the right partners because we want to be global. We might have some VCs or guilds that are going to open us to, I don't know, Chinese market, to the Southeast Asian market, to the African market, American, Latin American, European. So we ask their value proposition, for those early investors, what they can contribute. Also, we ask our partners and the people that we trust to also double check. So we want to make the best selection possible, and we want to select the people that are long term, partners that really share our mission, our cause, and don't play to earn, that play and earn, really want to have fun with us, achieving those goals and missions like blockchain mass adoption or play and earn adoption, and in the meantime they're going to earn. So we're trying our best to find the best loyal, comrades, I would say, rather than investors, and Avalabs is definitely one of them. So we have very limited space, but we tried our best to, with the feedback coming from our early community members. So we tried to, squeeze out some portion for people, for that are, and we want to select. We hope we will get people not playing to earn, but play and earning. Yeah, I mean, that are really trying to help this cause, this mission, not instead of like making 10x, 100x, 1000x. Of course, you're gonna make money. You want to make money. We understand that's natural. No one can criticize that. But again, the first motive should be really wanting to help the game grow. Uh, Pre-order like NFT airdrop for the game. I think we're gonna have a fair drop for the beta test players. We're gonna be in 6 months' time because you will need NFTs to play the game and some tokens to play the game. It's not airdrop; it's fair drop because you're gonna play it and you're going to help us with the log that you're going to produce. We're going to be able to see the problems, bugs, and everything, and we're going to have a bug bounty and also proposal bounty. Also, the ideas that are accepted by us, the bugs reported successful, will have some bounties. For the other airdrop, I'm not the right guy to talk to. We're gonna have an AMA soon with the right person on airdrops. But sure, we will release NFTs in good timing because we got 7 months to the game release. So in the meantime, we're gonna have this NFT sales, not airdrop, but sales as well.
That's great. So lots of
But the NFT
interesting
sales
things
would be
happening.
with good
Yeah,
pricing, as you know, it's introductory. It's early NFT sales would be good investments, I hope, for the investors.
yeah, that's great. I mean, lots of things that community can be involved in going forward. Okay, this is a long one. In some cases during this month, there is a decrease in speed and an increase in fee. Subnets
Yep.
may be the solution, but could the AVAX valuation be a problem for the players in the future?
Okay. First, yeah, that is true. That is correct. So AVAX transaction fees were high, and that was a concern for us. Remember, we were, about to choose between Solana and Avax, and we got good vibes, and they both wanted to collaborate with us, with Solana Labs guys and Ava Labs guys. We're still in contact with Solana. We love them. I'm bullish on the Solana GameFi team. But then we realized that we are able to, have this GameFi subnet, and we talked to our labs guys, and the answer we got was more better than we expected. So they're very technical people. I'm also very, very bullish on our labs team. As a developer, yeah, I check the white paper, I check the mainnet, and I check the team. Team first. We did team first, and I've always done team first, and I also do team first. And now that I got to know the Avalanche team even closer, face to face, this hackathon, I'm even more bullish on the Avalanche team. So the solution is we're going to have a new subnet dedicated to GameFi, okay, with the parameters and all that, and all this software development in terms of security, in terms of performance, and all that accordingly. So it'll have very, very low transaction fees, not affected by what's happening on the C chain of the mainnet. So the C chain prices may go up because there's a lot of organic, real activity going on. Avalanche, there's organic DeFi going on there, and ILO and everything. Some new stuff is going on there. So I think Avalanche is very top in terms of total value locked. So that's when the transaction fee is going high, also means that there's something real and valuable going, something organic going there too. I believe. So, but yeah, we will isolate that. We will isolate the metaverse environment from that C chain transaction fees in terms of
Thank,
speed, performance, transaction per seconds, and also transaction fees. So we were
thank you.
convinced before we made the decision.
Yeah, sounds very good. Okay, when will you share more images slash when will you share more images, trailers about the amazing game? As players, we look forward to it. So obviously the community is,
Yeah,
wants
I
some
can
more
see, I
images,
can
some more
see.
trailers. You
Yeah,
know,
I can see the real gamers here. Yeah, that's what we're talking about when we say play and earn.
yeah,
Uh, I have seen some amazing stuff, but it takes time to 3D model and everything. Our graphics team is working on it. I think Erhan is so excited. I told you he's a dedicated gamer.
mm,
So I think they're going to be releasing soon some really cool stuff, more
okay,
and more cool
wonderful.
stuff. I can't tell the timing though.
Yeah, so community, keep your eyes on all the social media of
Yeah, but
Heroes
ICO
Chain
is just
of
one and
the
a half months
information.
away, so less than 1.5. So of course we're going to be doing something in the meantime around
Yeah,
Christmas as well. Yeah.
wonderful. I think uh, I think we've covered most of the questions. Maybe one more question. Let's have one more question, and let's then wrap it up. I think Ersin has basically given us a lot of his good quality time and shared a lot of his knowledge of the gaming world and his tech world as well. Okay, so final question. Chinese and Japanese, this is an interesting one, or global question, a global macro
Yeah.
question. So
Yeah.
you'll have to dig into a bit of the economics. Chinese and Japanese markets are really into play to earn games. Will there be other game language for other nationalities to pay? So what? So bottom line is obviously we've got the Chinese and Japanese markets. They're into their gaming, and will there be other languages and nationalities to play the game?
Okay. I'm the CTO. I'm not sure about the game that detail of the gaming side, but of course we aim the global market. Okay, and Chinese and Japanese markets are amazing. Anybody in that has been in the gaming industry knows the Japanese market is huge, and they have been also on the amazing on the creator part as well. Same for the Chinese and for all the other nationalities out there. So we aim there. That's why we are so careful on finding the best allocation for VCs and other partners and guilds. We want to open to the entire globe. When it comes, well, the language is English. The language of gaming in the world, global, is English. We might have localizations maybe, but I don't know actually the extent to which we will do that.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Sam, thank you so much for coming on this live AMA today. It's been wonderful having you here. Myself, I learned a lot today
Thank
regarding
you.
security and cryptography as well as other aspects of the game as well. So I look forward for you to return again at some point on an AMA and to give us another update on what's happening in your world as CTO of Heroes Chained as well as the co-founder. So thank you so
Mhm.
much for coming live on the AMA today, and that's a wrap. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jazz. It was so much fun.
Thank you.